And welcome to Metropole Sports Center. My name is Nation Oano. Time for us to catch up with what has been happening in the sporting world. A lot of activities have taken place. The following are just some of the things that you're going to be talking about. That is, betting company Mozart Bet has partnered with SimbaCorp to launch a campaign during this festive season, which is going to be seeing a couple of winners awarded a brand new car. Now, in part of the competition, participants are either going to be winning cars or they are going to be winning property. The partnership is expected to run between the 1st of December to the 31st of December. During the event, this is what the deputy country manager for Mozart Bet, that is Wakai Aquino, Farouk Alibai, and Franco Cheng, who's the marketing manager of Mozart Bet, had to say about the new promotion.
To be won by our lucky punters, and also an apartment is also up for grabs at the end of the competition. Minimum stake is 50 bob, so anyone who's registered with Mozart Bet can actually take part.
We are very excited about the Proton Saga because it's a new brand in this country. In fact, one of the very important things about Proton is that it's locally assembled. The really good thing about local assembly is there's no import duty and no excise duty. By working with Mozart, it's given Kenyans an opportunity, a platform to learn more about Proton. So as Mozart promotes their campaign, people will get to learn more and more about Proton, and then they will come to us and ask us questions, get to test the car, get to familiarize themselves with it, and then hopefully this will be the next big thing for Kenyans.
On betting, we advocate for responsible gaming. If you look at all our adverts, all our materials, we try to put the responsible gaming message, and as well 18 plus, because our activities are only for 18 and over. If you place a bet on our site, you can place with as low as 10 shillings, which is something that someone can afford to lose, because we usually say play with what you can afford to lose. Don't play with your school fees, don't play with your rent. Play with what you can afford to lose. That's why we put our minimum betting amount to as low as 10 shillings.
After weeks between the fight with Nick Mwendwa and the government, Nick Mwendwa finally resigned this past week. We remember the past few weeks have been tumultuous in the world of football locally. Remember 2 weeks ago, the sports cabinet secretary, that is Ambassador Amina Mohammed, disbanded the FKF body and set up a caretaker committee led by retired justice, that is Aaron Ringera. Important to mention that immediately he took office, that is Aaron Ringera immediately put a hold to the sporting activities in the football league, that is the Kenya Premier League. The 14-day stay comes to an end this coming weekend, and there are a couple of games that are going to be played this coming weekend. We're going to be talking about that and much more in our Events Watch segment of the show later on the show. Important to mention that Nick Mwendwa has relinquished his FKF chairmanship to the vice chairman, that is Doris Petra. The following coming weeks are going to be very interesting in the local league. Remember, the part of the conversation that we are having, I beg your pardon, part of the conversation that we were having a couple of weeks ago is the couple of warnings that the World Football Governing Body, FKF, had given Ambassador Amina Mohammed about a possible ban that was going to be effected on Kenya. The ban, basically, if it is effected, that basically means that Kenya is not going to be participating in any international competitions until they probably put up an appeal at the Sports Dispute Tribunal board, or the ban elapses during the tenure that had been given by FIFA. We're going to be following up with that conversation and we'll be updating you accordingly. Also in matters tennis, we are quickly shifting gears to matters tennis. That is the WTA, that is the Women's Tennis Association, has banned events taking place in China. This is because of the sudden disappearance from the limelight of prolific tennis professional player, that is Peng Shuai. Important to mention that Peng Shuai a couple of weeks ago had lodged a complaint, or had come out stating that she had been abused by a senior official in the Chinese government. The following weeks, Peng Shuai has not been heard from, or has not been in the public limelight. And in the couple of times that she's probably appeared in the limelight, she has been appearing in a series of videos that have been released by the China-controlled, the state-controlled media. This particular row between the WTA and the Chinese government might set a precedence to other sporting governing bodies in terms of what they are going to do, because you mentioned that China is a big contributor to the sporting world. Some of the notable names that are doing big business in China, that is the NBA, not to mention the National Hockey League, amongst other large sporting bodies. Part of the conversation that people are talking about is the possible halting of the Winter Olympic Games that are set to be taking place in 2022 as a show of solidarity to the sudden disappearance of Peng Shuai from the public limelight. We are going to be following up that conversation once again, and we'll be updating you accordingly on what is going to be done in that particular situation. Now, switching gears again to matters international football, the most prestigious awarding ceremony in football, that is the Ballon d'Or, took place this past weekend. And for the 7th time, guess who won the Ballon d'Or? That is none other than the man himself, Lionel Messi. The following are just some of the winners that were crowned in this year's event, that is in the Copa Trophy. The best player under 21 was Barcelona's Pedri. Pedri has had a superb season at the Catalans, despite the fact that the Catalans were struggling at the beginning of the season, leading to the firing of their boss, that is Ronald Koeman. The best striker of the year award went to Robert Lewandowski. In the women's Ballon d'Or category, that is Barcelona's Alexia Putellas was the winner in that particular category. In the Yachin Trophy 2021, PSG's Gianluigi Donnarumma has had a superb season. You remember he was part of the Italian squad that won the Euros a couple of months ago. The men's Ballon d'Or winner for 2021, as I've mentioned, is PSG's, that is Lionel Messi, and the Club of the Year award went to Thomas Tuchel's side, that is Chelsea. Part of the conversations that people were having at the sidelines of the Ballon d'Or announcement was the fact that most people in the world felt that it was time for Robert Lewandowski to be crowned as the Ballon d'Or winner. In part of reinforcement of this sideline conversation that was going on, even Lionel Messi, when accepting his award, kind of said that he also felt that Robert Lewandowski deserved to win that particular award. But who knows, hopefully he's going to be winning the Ballon d'Or 2022 competition. I mean, it's still too early, considering that the event is going to be taking place late next year. There are already players that have been tipped to probably be shortlisted for next year's Ballon d'Or winner. One of the poignant names that has been mentioned is Mohamed Salah, who's having a stellar performance at the English Premier League. Apart from that, The other players, that is N'Golo Kante, who was also nominated for Ballon d'Or this year, who have also been tipped off, to probably be contesting for next year's Ballon d'Or awarding ceremony. Well, that particular story about the Ballon d'Or wraps up the first part of Metropole Sports Center. I do take a short commercial break. After the break, I'm going to be joined by Webster Lukose Ndoli, who's the founder and a coach at Uzani weightlifting. Just what is the difference between the usual working outs at the gym and weightlifting? That's a question that you're going to be answering in the second part of Metropole Sports Center. Well, see you after the break.